Hey traders, how's it going? Nick from Vant Trading here, coming at you with another educational and informational stock and trading video. Today, we've got to do it. We're going to cover Dogecoin. I'm going to be talking about what it is, how it works, how it may differ from Bitcoin, why it's going up currently at the astronomical rate that we're seeing, and whether I would buy it or not. I'll give you some cases for and against buying and talk about my general strategy if I were to trade Dogecoin. Now, I'm going to be trying to keep this on the charts. I'll be popping information on the screen as I talk. If at any point you find this informational helpful or interesting or informative, please drop a like and subscribe to our YouTube for future video updates. And if you have any questions, comments, points of clarification, or if you find I maybe misspoke or said something incorrect, please drop it in the comment section below and I will be sure to take note. Now, let's kick it off here, and let's start off, obviously, with the basics. First of all, it's pronounced Dogecoin. It's not Dogecoin, it's not Dogcoin, it's not any kind of variation, it's Dogecoin. A little odd if you're not familiar with the meme or the origin of the name. Now, this coin itself and this cryptocurrency was originally created in December of 2013, and within 1 month of this cryptocurrency being created, Dogecoin.com got over 1 million unique viewers. Now, this was not during cryptomania insanity initially, nor were there incredible headlines and people buying Bitcoin left and right, but there was still popularity within cryptocurrencies at the time. So Dogecoin got a little bit of a following and a little bit of a community. Now, the Dogecoin is based on a Shiba Inu meme. Now, this is a dog, obviously. If you've seen the icon of the Dogecoin or you've seen the Doge meme, this is actually the origin of the Doge. It was more of a meme that went through Reddit and Facebook and Twitter, and someone just kind of decided to plaster it onto a crypto coin, kind of like Bitcoin, and so we have Dogecoin. Now, this is largely, I would say, one of the more community-focused cryptos. Obviously, as its name might infer, it's kind of been considered more of a joke of a crypto or a not serious cryptocurrency. However, based on that 1 million initial viewers within the first month, and the fact that this cryptocurrency is still trading and still acting today, tells you that there is a core community that is driven within this cryptocurrency, and we'll be talking about them in a moment. First of all, I want to talk about one important distinction here on Dogecoin versus Bitcoin and so on and so forth, the supply. This is actually a pretty big difference, and it's one of the first points I want to make. Originally, a lot of cryptocurrencies, when they're created, have a limited supply that they ever plan on creating. Bitcoin, for example, is going to limit itself to, I believe, only 21 million coins being created and transferred and distributed out among the masses. When those coins are eventually created and mined and sent out, that's it. No more Bitcoin is being made. It's kind of by design that way, there's just not this infinite printing of supply. It's deflationary. However, Dogecoin came out with $100 billion coin initial cap, which is way more than others. And in 2014, in February, the co-founders removed this limit to create a consistent reduction of its inflation rate over time. That's their words. Now, there is no theoretical supply limit to Dogecoin, but that doesn't mean it's just flying off the shelf. I believe they're still going at about a 5 billion per year rate, which means the number of Dogecoins in circulation would only double after about 36 years. So there is a little bit of order flow to it, but there is no theoretical limit to how many Dogecoins they're printing and putting out there. Very different distinction there, because obviously, like any other currency, the more you print, the more or the less value your currency will maintain. So in the long run, as a currency, that's a pretty big distinction and something you should keep in mind. Now, how does Dogecoin work? Well, if you aren't familiar at all how a cryptocurrency works or Bitcoin works, you might want to do a little bit of research on that, try to understand what mining is and the blockchain and how a lot of this happens. I'm not going to get into the weeds on some of that stuff. That's a lot of the underhood stuff. But some distinctions I want to make is something that a lot of people are going to talk about, and so I want you to at least be semi-versed in it. This uses a similar system to Litecoin, which is another kind of, it was supposed to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold, kind of a lesser light version of Bitcoin that was created by, I believe, an ex-Google employee, and it's called, they used Litecoin's script technology. Now, like Bitcoin, it takes serious computing power for miners to confirm the transactions of others and mine them, and eventually awarded with coin. However, the differences kind of get pretty technical, and from what I've seen in my research, it seems like the differences here mostly apply to the miners. It's largely viewed to be a more accessible coin to mine for those who wish to participate as miners, but I believe you can't use certain custom hardware solutions like you can with mining Bitcoin. So the differences there are kind of nuanced. It doesn't, from what I can tell, change the way that the cryptocurrency trades or operates. Some more details. It is a proof of work coin, which means that pretty much the underlying process in which these coins are mined is going to be fundamentally similar to Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency out there. So if you're at least semi-familiar with how Bitcoin is mined and how Bitcoin is created and circulated and how the accounting is done, you generally still understand how Dogecoin works. One thing that is, we talked about, it's based off of a meme, and in 2013, actually, one of the co-founders said it's not taking itself as seriously. It's not being used by people worrying about whether they'll become rich. Now, I don't think the co-founder or anyone participating foresaw something like this happening and whatever is to come. But yeah, that was kind of the intention behind Dogecoin. Now, before I talk about a little bit about the coin itself and what caused this run up, I want to mention a couple issues that Dogecoin has had in the past so you're familiar. Some of these could be relevant in the future. For example, there was a pretty large hack, I believe, in 2013. I think it was within the first month that Dogecoin started operating and trading as a cryptocurrency, where someone hacked into the Dogecoin wallet on, I believe, one of the platforms and stole hundreds of millions of Dogecoin. Now, it was a pretty serious loss, obviously, for the community so new. However, this is a community-driven crypto, and a lot of the community actually banded together and ended up donating their extra Dogecoins to people who lost their coin, and most of that was replaced by nice donations. So it is an interesting community-driven cryptocurrency. However, with the popularity and the value of Dogecoin going up and up and up and up and up, I can only imagine that this is going to become more and more and more enticing for more hackers to enter and for more people to come in and try to steal Dogecoin. I don't know if the security is any more stable or secure than Bitcoin, but it's something to keep in mind. It's also important to note that it's not going to be quite as widely available to buy and sell as other cryptos. For example, Dogecoin's not traded on Coinbase, which was the largest recent IPO of a cryptocurrency trading platform. It's not included on there. I think most people and most retail traders are probably trading it on Robinhood, but even then, Robinhood has many outages and many issues, and there are a lot of back-end issues on Robinhood. We actually have a trading platform review on Robinhood on our YouTube if you want to know more. However, it's not going to be as widely available. It was a joke cryptocurrency, let's be honest. And as such, there's not as many places that you could spend this Dogecoin. You can't just go to the store. You can't just go to a Walmart or McDonald's or even just a clothing store and spend your Dogecoin. From what I've seen, it seems like the large amount of use with Dogecoin has been for online tipping and donations. However, we did have a couple other examples where, for example, Mark Cuban tweeted that the Dallas Mavericks, which is a pro NBA team, will be accepting payments in Dogecoin. So I think that might be the most notable place that you could spend Dogecoin at the moment. In 2015, one of the co-founders actually left due to a toxic work environment that was building around cryptocurrencies and the coin itself. So I don't know if that speaks to anything else on the back end or alludes to anything. Last I saw, and this was hard to figure out, I believe the developers and a lot of the people in the back end of Dogecoin are technically still volunteers. So that also raises some questions as to the stability and the future of the cryptocurrency. Now, enough about the history, enough about the past. Why is Dogecoin running? We had a couple things happen, obviously, this year. We're going to kick it off with a little bit of a lesson or a little bit of a walk down memory lane here with Gamestop. If you remember Gamestop, well, GameStop had a little bit of fun earlier in the year where GameStop ran from $10 or so to $480 in the beginning of 2021. This was an astronomical event. We have a fantastic video on it by yours truly on our YouTube if you somehow missed this or didn't know anything about it. I truly believe that this kind of paved the way for Dogecoin to then shortly after start its ascent. A lot of people on Wall Street Bets and the online communities and Twitter and so on and so forth were actually then more quickly able to get on board with something like this because they've seen what is possible. However, in the back end of this was also a lot of celebrity and popularity tweets. Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Gene Simmons, the lead guitarist for Kiss, Snoop Dogg, Slim Jim, yes, those little snacks, and more. All of these different celebrities and companies actually tweeted about it, joked about it, pumped about it, and so Dogecoin in the initial ending of January into February got this initial pop. And I believe on January 28th, this first initial pop was a result of an Elon Musk tweet, actually. Elon Musk has largely, I would say, been the primary driver of tweets concerning Dogecoin. And so that's been a big part. And Mark Cuban, like I said, the owner of the NBA team, the Dallas Mavericks, has actually said that they're going to be accepting Dogecoin payments. Pretty significant thing to say. Now, you also obviously have the Wall Street bets and the online communities. In fact, in 2020, we actually had a little spike in here, and that was actually largely driven by TikTok. If you don't know what TikTok is, it's a whole other social media platform you should look at. Obviously, it was a small spike. This is a sub-penny price we're looking at here, but it was a spike nonetheless, and I think people then realized that they could use TikTok to encourage people to buy Dogecoin and joke about it, and TikTok just helped fuel this initial ascent. Now, we've also just been having a lot of momentum take place here. You know, this is now at this point its own beast. It doesn't matter who tweets about it at this point. This is just just buying. People have seen what happened with Gamestop. They've seen how AMC ran, and all of these other stocks can squeeze and go supernova. The stock market feels overvalued and it's at highs. A lot of stocks are actually getting a hit. There's a lot of worries in equities, and you've got a lot of retail traders on platforms like Robinhood that can now buy crypto and now buy Dogecoin. And this is only adding more and more and more fuel to the fire. So I think that that's actually pretty, adding more to our precipice here. Now, we also have a little bit of more of a recent spike, and there's one more headline I want to talk about, and that is this coming Saturday on May 8th, Elon Musk is going to be hosting Saturday Night Live. If you don't know what that is, it's a TV show. They do kind of skits and comedy every Saturday, and he has definitely hinted and talked about incorporating Doge into it, being the Doge father, or talking about Dogecoin in some way. So there's just a little bit of meme within it and hype, and just retail traders just piling in and driving this higher. This is by no means large corporations buying this and investing in this. This is by no means, the next big thing at the moment. This has just been pure, unadulterated, just retail buying. Everyone out there is just buying Dogecoin as a joke. You go on your watch local YouTubers, Twitch streamers, media personalities, and all of them will say, yeah, I bought some Dogecoin for fun. It's getting out there pretty easily, and this is just showing the power of disseminating all of this through social media. Now, the big question, am I buying Dogecoin? The short answer is no. Not in the long term, not for a long-term trade or investment. I would not recommend personally, I'm not an investment advisor, but I would not recommend that people invest in Dogecoin unless it's money that you are fine losing. First reason and thing I would point to is look at Gamestop. All right, Gamestop, yes, had its fun, went up to 440, but it's coming back down. This is how things usually happen and work in the equities market and in, just financial derivatives and financial instruments in general. This is unsustainable. There's no fundamental reason for this coin to be running. Now, this is largely community driven, like I said. This is completely attention based right now. This is the new hot thing in the market. So there's no real purpose to the coin. There's no real backing to the coin. This is just the new hot manipulative speculation. This is not investing in a new currency. This is speculation and trying to catch the wave and meme YOLO Dogecoin to the moon. That's not to say that this won't go higher. That's just to say that as a long-term investment, I'm personally not putting Dogecoin in my retirement account. At some point, the community will move on. Now, on the flip side of things, Dogecoin is largely not accepted in places. If you start seeing things like Venmo and retailers and Tesla and all these other companies and places and PayPal and Square, if they all start accepting Dogecoin and you start getting more and more and more and more headlines, this could only get stronger and we could see Dogecoin go higher. Now, one other thing you want to keep in mind is it's not very easy to short Dogecoin. It's not as easy to short a cryptocurrency like it is a stock, like with GameStop. So that kind of works on both sides. You don't have the shorts getting squeezed out, which slows how fast it can move up, but you also don't have people who are trying to short this lower. You only have to really worry about the selling pressure. I also want to say that Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you don't know what they are, they're obviously the two probably larger cryptocurrencies out there. They are going astronomically higher. Bitcoin's seeing a little bit of a pullback, but Ethereum has really not stopped. These two kind of moving also in a way, kind of a rising tide raises all ships, helps Dogecoin go higher, and is definitely helping fuel some of the hype the more and more these other cryptocurrencies tick up. Now, this is kind of great for short-term trading and gambling. That's where I am at this point. It's been a great breakout trader. It's been a great momentum trader. Some technical indicators I'm seeing out there are a little worrisome. For example, if you look at RSI or any other things, you are seeing a little bit of an overbought indication right now. And that's not a long-term indication. For example, last time RSI topped around 95, we had a couple days of pullback, a couple days of pulling around. Now, we are reapproaching 80 on the RSI, and maybe we start to see a slow down a little bit. That's more of a short-term perspective that I'm looking at. From a longer-term perspective, you can momentum trade this. Be very careful if you're buying this. The only thing I'll say is if you are going to buy or if you are going to invest in Dogecoin, do not buy or invest anything that you are not comfortable with losing completely. It's possible. Dogecoin spent the majority of its life trading sub 1 penny, and it's very likely that it could go back down there. It may not, but this is more of a gamble. For now, what I've been doing is, if I do want to buy it, if I do want to, trade it or swing trade it or try to make money, I'm simply riding waves. I'm simply riding momentum, and when I see selling start, I'll get out. I'll find a new place to get back in. That's how I personally trade it. That's how I know many traders out there are trading it. But this is just my take on Dogecoin, and hopefully this was helpful and informative. It's really pretty similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these others under the hood. However, the difference here is this is largely community driven. Dogecoin is not going to overtake Bitcoin. I hate to break it to you. But it has some key differences in there that make it stand out, and the community backing it is pretty passionate. But how long can their attention last? This was Nick from Vant Trading. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope that this video was helpful and informative. I will see you next time, and as always, safe trading.